Excellent.
Exactly.
So let's go over a couple things here. You're gonna, for engine starts and turning on most of your instrument panels, all gonna be these things here. And I'll walk you through it. During takeoff and landing, you're gonna be focused on this guy a lot because that's your landing gear.
Okay.
Your engine gauges are all here. Your autopilot. This is called distance measuring equipment. You can
So 1717, maintain 170 knots until J-line. Contact tower now, 120.905.
170 J-line over tower, good day, Southwest 1770.
Lost 589, reduce speed to 170, maintain that speed or less until J-line.
Okay, we're slowing to 170 and we'll maintain that or less to J-line, second 589.
Overhead is all of your environmental controls and your lights. Most importantly, fuel gauges. And of course, every simulator needs a clock.
Okay.
And here are a bunch of warning lights which you don't want to see.
All right. So how does this work? What is this like connected to?
So this is all connected to the engines.
Okay.
So during the start sequence, what you'll be doing, you'll start one engine at a time. You've got two engines in here. You're gonna go ahead. Let's just go through it. Let's turn on battery. Ready?
Yeah.
So everything will start spinning up. This guy is going to align his gyroscopes. And then to start the engines, what we're going to do is we're going to set the parking brake down here, hold it towards us once. We'll turn on our ignitions, turn on our generators, turn on our nav lights, our beacon, taxi lights. That way everybody out there knows that we're going to do something and it's going to be dangerous.
Okay.
But first, let's get your seat adjusted.
Right.
So let's go ahead and step out. I think I need to move.
Lost 589, contact tower, 120.905.
Switch to 589, have a great day.
Shit.
Give that a shot. See what that feels like. It'll be a little cramped. And if you're interested in a career in aviation, get used to the cramped feeling.
Oh yeah, no problem. But
Now the next question is, can you reach the rudder pedals?
yeah.
Can you steer with them? Can you push down on the toe brakes with your toes?
Yeah.
Okay, and then can you push left and right?
Oh, okay.
That's how you'll steer the aircraft on the ground.
Oh, heck yeah.
Have approach 373 and a half for 8,000.
Rise 373, CL, descend and maintain 6,000.
6,000, that's a 373.
All right.
What you're going to do is you're going to monitor. You're going to monitor this gauge until it reaches 13%.
13%.
When it reaches 13, this guy right here, when it reaches 13%, you're going to continue to hold this up, and then you're going to move this lever forward, just like right there, kind of in line with that little arrow.
Okay. So I'm gonna hold this one up, and then put this one to the
13%.
bottom.
You're going to move that little lever forward a little bit, but you're going to continue holding this until both of these red lights go out.
Okay. And I only start holding it when it reaches 13%?
No, you'll hold it right now, actually.
Oh, right now?
Yep, go ahead and fire it up. So we're starting engine number 2. And when that reaches 13%, continue holding. Push that mixer lever forward just a little bit. And there we go. Perfect, right there.
Again for American 2247 out of 8,000 for 7.
He goes up.
American 2247, CL approach, ready.
There you go. We just started engine number 2.
Rise 373, descend and maintain 5,000.
5,000, that's 373.
That's awesome.
You want to go on?
4,007, descending to 2,000 until Learjet.
Rise 373, about to go on the cloud.
Roger.
Go ahead and set.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. How about you? Can you hear us?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right. Go ahead and reach over and close your door. Okay. And now we're going to do the same thing with engine number 1. So this is the engine number 1 mixture lever. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to move it forward when this gauge reaches 13%. So go ahead and it's this switch right here.
The left one?
Yep, the left one. You'll monitor this guy
Until 13%?
till 13%.
Okay. Then it's this one or this one?
This guy, this little one right here.
Rise 373, turn rating 250, descend and maintain 3,000.
Okay, good.
373.
And then monitor your lights up here.
Rise 373.
Okay, he's off. You can let go. Perfect. Okay, let's get, okay, we got taxi lights on, nav lights on, beacons on. That's what we need on the ground to tell everyone else that we are alive. Let's get some air conditioning in here. Okay, and you can adjust the airflow here if you want.
Seattle Approach Alaska 399, 10.5, descending.
Or you can just close it, or just control your airflow this way.
So maintain 6,000.
And after a couple hours in here, you'll want the air.
All right.
Okay, so we got our engine started. Let's turn a couple more things on. We're going to turn on our radios. So I'll do the top two, and you can do the bottom two. We're just going to move it over 2. That's our communication radio.
Okay.
And then that's our, what they call the transponder. So when we take off, we're going to call, or actually even before we take off, we'll have filed a flight plan. And then we'll get on the ground, and actually right here they'll tell us, okay, Beechcraft 1900, cleared for takeoff, squawk 1200. And when they say squawk, they're going to give you a 4-digit code, and that's where this goes. So let's say they give us 1200. We'll just
2247.
set that to 1200. And now we're squawking 1200. This number identifies us on their radar scope.
Oh, okay.
Now go ahead and turn on the bottom 2 navigation radios. There you go. Right here. You move this over 2.
2.
Perfect. And then the same thing for the other one.
Maintain 170 knots, 3.5 mile final, contact tower 120.905.
Can you hear the ATC coming through?
Sit.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. One last thing. Actually, 2 last things. We're going to turn on our avionics here. Actually, you pull it towards you and up.
99 center, maintain 5.
There we go.
All right.
5,000.
And we'll get this dialed in here. This shows us in the Seattle airspace. We're going to go kind of clean this up a little bit. There we go. So we're facing due north.
Great American 2047.
Okay. Now we're going to set our flaps for takeoff. So we're going to move the flap lever until this needle reaches right that little white band right there, and the flap lever is right here. So move the flap lever here down about a quarter of an inch. And a little more just to get that needle in that white band. Okay, we are all set. All right, let's see where we're at. We're at SeaTac Tower, Beechcraft 1900D on 34 right, ready for takeoff, VFR to the north. And then they'll respond back, Beechcraft 1900D, cleared for takeoff, maintain VFR to the north, squawk 1200, winds from the north at 12, have a good flight. Then we would say, good day.
Cool. All right.
Okay, the only thing left now is to unset the parking brake, and there's a hidden switch underneath here. You pull it forward towards you once. Perfect.
All right.
Okay, now we're going to start the engine spinning. So what you want to do is press forward with your toes and hold the brakes.
Okay.
Okay, that's the brakes in the aircraft. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the engine spun up. So move these 2 guys forward all the way to the front port, or the forward part at the same time.
All right.
Alaska 399 is 10 miles from JASA, across JASA at orbit.
And you'll notice we're moving a little bit on the torque, or the turbines, and the torque's coming up a little bit. These will start coming up when we move the prop levers forward. What these 2 levers do is it adjusts the prop pitch. So at cruise, they're set to a certain pitch for maximum efficiency, so it takes the biggest bite of air possible. On the ground, especially during landing, these are going to go all the way back, which essentially flattens the blade against the airstream and acts like a brake.
Okay. Yeah.
So go ahead and move those forward all the way.
And my foot should still be on the brake.
Always on the brake, yep. Okay. Now bump these up about a quarter of an inch, just a little bit. Okay, here come the props.
What are props?
You've seen them before. They either have 2 blades or 4 blades. They're black. And it looks like a giant spinning fan.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, that's good. Okay, we're still on the brakes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to push these forward until these 2 needles reach 40%. So there and there.
Okay.
So go ahead and slowly push them forward until we get 40% on these 2 guys right here. Okay, cool, perfect. Now what you're going to do, we're going to go through a couple of pre-flight tests. We're going to go test that pitch on the prop angle. So you're going to pull this lever back all the way. Okay, that function is working, so move him back forward. That just tests that the props are actually doing what they're supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
And then pull this one back all the way. Perfect. Okay, and we're still on the brakes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's forward. You're going to push the throttles full forward until we reach 100% on these guys. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, actually, one more thing. We have dual link controls, so I can take over at any time. If you get completely out of control, which I don't think you will, this button right here will save the day. Straight and level.
Okay.
No matter what the aircraft is doing, it'll know to get back upright and just start flying straight.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, ready? Get this move forward to 100%. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to check one thing.
All right.
Okay, and you can release the brakes, and you're going to steer with your feet on the ground.
Oh.
And you're not going to steer with this yet. Okay, steer with your feet. Press hard on your left. Press left. Press left a little more. A little more left. Okay, right there. Perfect. Okay, now pull back slowly on the yoke. Pull back. There you go. And you are now off the ground. Okay.
Wow.
Now go ahead and push forward, because we want what you don't want to do is just keep climbing and then go up backwards. So what you want to do is you want to maintain about a 10-degree pitch nose up right here on your display.
Okay.
So the tip of this arrow right here should be resting right on this 10-degree bar.
How do I do it?
So how you do that is just you push forward, and watch what happens when I push forward. So I'll push. Oh, now we froze. Sometimes this thing will freeze up a little bit, but no big deal. So we'll straighten out, and then what? See how if I push forward,
Okay. Okay.
and
I
if
see.
I pull back, we can reach the 10-degree mark, and right about there is where we want to be. And then you just manage that by pushing and pulling on the yoke.
Okay. So if I push it, it goes down?
Yep, the nose will go down. And I'll raise the gear,
Roger, 453.
and I'll take the flaps in.
Do I still need to have my feet on the brake?
Nope, your feet are fine now. You can rest.
Okay.
And then we'll pull back. The reason you went down a little bit is because I just pulled the flaps in.
Oh, I see.
Okay. And don't be afraid to turn left and right.
Yeah, I was just... It's like, oh, wait, this is...
Res 453, turn right heading 310, clear visual approach 34 left.
Heading 310, clear visual 34 left, Roger 453.
And I'm making very minor corrections here on the trim to help you keep the aircraft a little more stable, because sometimes what will happen if the aircraft is out of trim, like if you want to fly straight and level, you'll find yourself like holding a little bit of left pressure or right pressure.
Oh,
to
so
keep
that's
it
what
straight.
the trim is.
Yep, and the
Okay.
trim helps keep that out of your control. So when the aircraft is flying perfectly, you should be able to let go, and it'll fly by itself straight and level.
Approach Oscar 513, 1,700, continue the Hawks is arrival landing north.
What happens when there's clouds?
13 road track.
You'll lose visibility.
Maintain
Okay.
6,000.
What if it's a storm?
Switch direct Jocelyn down to 6.
It can get kind of rough. What'll happen to the aircraft, if it's really bad, you'll see lightning strikes. You'll see lightning strikes on the ground. If it's hail and you're flying through hail, which you should never ever do, you'll start to see little impact marks on the windshield.
Oh, okay.
6,000.
And that's never good. Okay, now you're flying instruments. You can't see anything of the ground anymore. So you're what's called IFR, Instrument Flying Rules, which completely change what you can do in the aircraft.
Oh.
But no big deal here. If we keep climbing, I think the tops look like they're pretty close, so we might be able to break out of the clouds here if we keep climbing.
Oscar 9802, say your flight conditions.
Oscar 9802, we've been BMC on the descent.
There we go. See, we can see the tops of the clouds coming up.
Wow.
Looks like a scattered layer below us.
And we're climbing out of 5,500 feet. And we are heading let's see, we're heading due west. So you can see here's Seattle right here on the scope,
Yeah.
and that's due west, so we're flying over towards Port Angeles.
Cool. Can I drop below the cloud cover?
You can, sure, you can use the same rule of thumb, put the tip of the yellow mark on the negative 10-degree bar, and then you'll start descending.
And do I have like a destination in mind for this specific?
Anywhere you want to go?
Anywhere? So I can just like go off somewhere else?
Yeah, totally. I usually fly to Tacoma, up to Painfield and Everett. Port Townsend is an interesting destination.
0.
Or Port Angeles. There you go. You're getting this. I'm going to slow you down just a little bit. There we go. She's a natural at this.
Cool. It's nerve-wracking.
It can be a lot to take in all at once. If you go through flight training, if you don't walk away from the aircraft completely full of sweat, you really haven't had a good lesson. Or your flight instructor's been too easy on you.
9802, descend and maintain 3000.
That's 9802, descend and maintain 3000. That thin layer scattered is about 5,000.
And that's about what we saw too. 5,000 feet is when we started breaking out of the tops of the clouds.
Yeah.
Go to A for field in sight.
So what we're listening to is Seattle approach control. And that's our live feed, so that's happening in real time.
Really?
Yeah. There
Wow.
we go. So you're breaking out of the bottom of the clouds. Perfect.
5 at 97 for 7,000.
And you are headed, if we maintain straight and level, we'd head right towards Painfield up in Everett, where
cool.
where they make the big ones.
Saying 01.
Is that where we're landing?
If you want, we can go ahead and try it.
Yeah, I'd like to try to land.
Left.
Okay.
Just 34 left.
All right, so let's get set up for a landing. Now it's going to get a little more disciplined here.
Oh,
So
boy.
now you're learning to maintain altitude and go up and down. So now we need to learn how to maintain a heading. So what we want to do is we want to turn to the right until we are maintaining a heading of 060, which is that line right there. And I'll adjust that little pink thing right there. So you want to keep the pink thing aligned with 060 at the top of your compass right here. And the numbers here will show you exactly what heading as well.
All right.
Okay, and let's level off. We'll pull back a little bit. We don't want to go down too far. Okay, pull back just a little bit.
9802,
So now what you want to do is you want to keep the tip of this yellow mark right at the horizon. Like right there.
09,
Okay.
5 mile 5.
And watch your heading too. Let's go back to the left just a little bit.
513, 6 miles from Joss, across Joss at above 4,000, cleared ILS runway 34 left, maintain 210 knots or greater.
Okay, so what we've done now is we've placed Painfield off of our left wing.
Yeah, I just noticed.
Speed again for Oscar 513.
Loss 513, turn 10 knots or greater.
210 knots or greater, thanks, Oscar 513.
There you go, you're getting it.
Center 385, descend and maintain 4,000.
You sure you haven't done this before?
I'm sure. I'm sweating right now. It's fun though. It's good stuff.
It is a blast. Okay, let's go ahead and turn to the left. And we're going to turn to the left until
Degrees right, descend and maintain.
we're going to turn right to the north.
241.
There we go. So now you want to keep that yellow or the pink mark right at the top of your compass. And that'll turn us right towards Painfield, which is right here. So this is us. We're flying this way, and Painfield's over here. And you're doing a great job on the altitude. This is perfect. We're staying below the clouds, and we're not doing any excessive climbing or diving. Looking good. Keep your turn going. Don't worry about the light. That's just telling us we just flew over what's called an outer marker, and that's the outer marker for SeaTac behind us.
Oh, cool.
All right, looking good. Looking real good. We're going to land on the big runway. Painfield's got 3 runways, 3-4 left, 3-4 right. We're going to choose 3-4 left because it's like 18 miles long. The third runway runs kind of perpendicular, and we won't be using that one today.
Okay.
So we'll have plenty of room out in front of us. We can do whatever we want. We got plenty of room to make mistakes, but we're not going to make any mistakes today, right?
Right.
0 and 210 speeder is in 35.
Okay.
Your teammate.
Looking good. We're headed right towards Painfield. So here's us this way, and there's Painfield.
70 red,
Gotcha.
right over tower, good day, 513.
Yeah, 241, reduce speed to 210.
Further 210 knots, United 241.
So, the other people who are talking, can they hear us?
No, they can't hear us.
Okay. I'm like,
Because that would be bad.
yeah. How did you set it up so you could hear them like that?
3000.
I've got a computer over here behind us to the right where I've got a website that I go to called Live ATC.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can dial up any airport in the world and listen to their communications.
Wow.
And I've got that audio feed sent to my intercom device down here, and it's being mixed in with us talking.
Okay.
There's 385.
Price 385, flying 010.
It just adds more realism to it.
It really does. Like when they first started doing that, I was like, "Oh God, it's real. It's for real."
This is real, man.
I mean, it feels real. I mean, not real.
It can be real. I subscribe to a website called Pilot Edge, and what they do is they provide actual live air traffic control to you as you're flying your simulator.
Wow. Cool.
So people dial up all over the world. Dial up. That shows my age. Connect all over the world to this Pilot Edge website, and they can see your aircraft in the simulator on their simulated radar scope, and they can give you vectors and just like they're real air traffic control.
That's so cool.
And they'll yell at you if you make a mistake too, which is awesome.
Yeah, constructive criticism.
Approach 3.
So,
310.
how does
Join
the trim on my controls here work?
So let's check the trim out. Let go of the Leo. Just let go of it. See what happens. So you can see it's got a tendency to go nose down just a little bit, and you can see we're descending as well. So what you want to do is, here's your trim. You want to push down on the trim. Let it correct. See how I pushed down about 5 times, and now the nose is coming back up.
Okay.
And the whole goal of the trim is to be able to let go of the yoke and let the airplane fly itself.
So it keeps going off to the right?
Yep, so you'll want to push your yoke, actually not the yoke itself, I'm sorry, the trim switch that way about 5 times. And you can feel it click, and it feels tactile to you. And there you go. Now you can see it's turning to the left a little bit.
Oh,
Now if it
cool.
continues to the left, you've done it too much, and you want to click it this way about once or twice. There you go. Trimmed.
Cool. So what's this one for?
Nothing right now.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, now we're going to want to put that pink mark right here at the top. So you're going to turn left. Now things are going to get pretty interesting because there's the runway right there.
100, they'll level above you out of your vacated altitude.
So a lot of things are going to start happening here. I'm going to put some flaps down, and what's going to happen is the nose is going to want to come way up, and you want to anticipate that by pushing forward on the yoke like that.
Okay.
And ready? Here we go. See how the nose is coming up? Push forward on the yoke. Push forward on the yoke. There you go.
Java 10-0610 miles from Joss, across Joss at 4,000 above, cleared ILS 34 left.
Perfect. Perfect. Speed's looking good. Okay, now pull back on the yoke a little bit and just kind of let it go and see what happens. Okay, we'll put the gear down. That's the gear. There we go. We'll watch our airspeed. Get it trimmed for landing here.
241, thank you,
Oh,
man.
what was that?
Cleared up.
Ah! No! All right, hang on. Don't do anything.
Okay.
I pressed the wrong button.
41, thanks a lot for the help. See ya.
Squeeze through here. Oops, sorry.
Okay, let's go ahead and turn to the right a little bit because you want to put the runway about right here in front of you. Can you see it down there?
I think so, yeah.
Yep. This long stretch. You'll see two long gray stretches in front of you. It's actually the one on the left. There you
Okay.
go. We got a nice descent going on here. All right, start pushing the nose down a little bit. Push the nose down.
Oh.
There you go. And then turn to the left. Now, one of the things that we say in aviation is never let the airplane fly you. You should always be flying the airplane.
Right.
There you go. Okay, pull back just a little bit. Get that runway lined up. You're gonna be doing a lot of left and right.
Yeah. Oh, this is
And,
tricky.
and I'll help you if you want to. So yeah, a little bit. There you go. There you go. Okay, now you're gonna pull back just a little bit. Right there, right there. Yeah, right there. So what you're doing is you're painting a picture in front of you as to how a good landing should look. Yeah, we're gonna pull back a little bit.
So when we land, we probably want to be like even, right?
Yeah. There you go. We're gonna turn a little bit this way. A little bit more. Pull back. Okay. And then back this way.
41 clear
And we'll keep going that way.
5,000.
Does it look good on your side?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, pull back. Well, not too hard. Not too hard. There you go. And level off. Okay. All right, pull back. Okay. All right, we're going to cut the power. And we're going to pull back like that. There you are. And then step on the brakes with your toes. Now you're back to steering on the ground. Oh, steer with your feet. Press right. There you go. Perfect. There you go. And let's get back on the runway.
That's a greater till J-line, contact tower 120.905.
There you go. You just landed your first airplane.
Not on the strip, but
Well, the rudder is definitely something you need to get used to because it's a whole different concept, right? You've grown up your entire life thinking the steering wheel is the way to go. But in an airplane, it's quite different. In the larger airliners, you actually do have a steering wheel, but it's off on the left-hand side, and it's only about that big.
oh, okay. Yeah.
And once you're above 80 knots, that little steering wheel is no longer effective, and then you have to use the rudders with your feet to steer. And then, yeah, it's so that's it.
Wow.
That's how you fly an airplane.
Oh, wow, that's so cool. And, you know, I expected it to be this complex. I'm not going to say it's more simple than I thought.
Yeah. If you there's several different ways to go. You can go to a dedicated aviation college like Embry-Riddle. I don't know if they have a chapter here though. I think there might be one somewhere. You can go to a dedicated flight school. There's hundreds around here. There's several up here actually at Payne Field. There's also several at Boeing King County where the Flight Museum is at. There's Wings Aloft and a couple others. I would suggest if you're serious about doing this for a career, go down and talk to one of the flight schools. Find an instructor, talk to them, have them kind of fill you in on some of the details. Definitely meet their chief flight instructor because if you end up taking lessons there, it's very important that you kind of mesh personally with the chief flight instructor.
Yeah.
They can get kind of hard and very difficult. Every once in a while I've encountered kind of like a jerk for a chief flight instructor. Usually those are the guys that have been rejected by the major airliners or airlines, and you know this is what they do for a living now.
Oh.
So,
see.
and there's some great guys out there. I had about 4 or 5 different flight instructors when I was taking lessons. Most of them, and the reason the count is so high is because what they do is they offer flight instruction, they build up their hours, they get their certifications, and then they get hired on by the smaller regional companies.
41, set to maintain 4,000.
Gee.
And then they build up more flight time in these kind of aircraft until their resume looks good enough where they can apply to the majors like Delta or United.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's a lot of hard work. It's dedication. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of starvation. But it pretty much goes with any kind of career. And you know, once you reach the level of somebody like Sullenberger, the guy who landed in the Hudson, the senior captains, it's amazing. They love the job.
Yeah. Wow. Wait, was that the The one where he did an emergency landing. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Both
actually-
engines took in some geese.
I saw the video of that and also like the audio of him talking
Yeah.
and how calm he was.
Yep.
And I'm just like, wow, that's incredible. I mean, like, you know, it's
41, present speed to Levi. Speed.
that would suck if you freaked out and you're
Yeah,
the
you,
pilot.
you
know?
definitely want to have somebody calm and collected up front.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, 97, CLD, center maintain.
Well, you want to try going back to Seattle?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we got the engine spinning, everything is all set already. We'll set the flaps for takeoff. We're just going to take off right from here since we got about 18 more miles of runway in front of us. I'm going to go ahead and throttle up. Remember, steer with your feet.
Yeah.
And here we go. Okay. Okay, 80 knots. We're going to call some speeds out. We're going to call V1 and then rotate, pull back. There you go. And you're flying. You can raise the landing gear if you want. It's tricky, but doable. So you want to, this little button right here, you want to press down on it and at the same time raise this lever up.
Maintains, correction, descend, maintain 5,000.
Sorry, I wasn't really, I was looking out there. Can you show me that
Oh, no
again?
problem, no problem. So there's a button here. It's a lock. So you'll press down on the lock and then pull up on this big plastic wheel.
10 knots or greater.
Okay.
210 or greater, last to 541.
97, turn left heading 070.
There you go. Perfect. There comes the gear.
070, maintain 3,000.
Okay, we're going to pull the flaps in. Now what's going to happen when I pull the flaps in, it's going to want to descend a little bit. So just be ready for that little movement. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
190, you're falling a dash 8 from the west.
Okay, speed 190, south of 1703.
Oscar 343, reduce speed to 210.
There you go. And I'm going to set your heading bug to take us back to Seattle. So we'll go this way. Takes a while to spin it all the way over there. So we're going to be flying almost due south. And we're also going to ask for the big runway there, which is 34 left.
010, Jazz 97.
So as I'm turning, and you can see the pink marker moving, try to turn the aircraft so it kind of tracks in the same direction.
Mile final.
Yeah.
On rather, contact tower now, 120.905.
Okay, we'll keep it 170 greater J-Lon, switch to dial on 541.
Jazz 97 airport, 12 miles.
And there we go. It's about where we want to go.
Cool.
This site, Jazz 97.
You are doing really well. For the first time ever flying an aircraft, even a simulated one, the fact that you can hold altitude and you're not squirrely and all over the place, you've got a natural ability for this.
Thank you.
So I think you definitely have a future in this career.
Thanks.
70 last, 243.
This is great.
1803.
What's that?
This is great.
Alright, to 310, join localizer 34 left, southwest.
I mean, it's really all just about like being careful, isn't it?
It's all about being careful, paying attention, not letting yourself get too overloaded, and definitely not letting the airplane fly you. And we'll look at our map here. And yep, Seattle's right up on top here, and we're flying towards it. Perfect. So I'm going to get your pink heading bug here set a little bit more accurate there. So if you want, I can show you how an autopilot flies the airplane.
Oh, okay.
If you want, I can
sure.
do that. Okay, so go ahead and let go of the yoke. We're going to turn on the autopilot. We're going to turn on altitude hold. We're going to turn on heading hold. And we're hands off. That's it.
That's it?
That's it. Yep.
When do you take back control of the plane?
You can do it in a couple ways. You can just hit that button one more time.
Seattle flag 270.
Okay.
And descend.
When should I do it though? Like how long can I have?
A lot of that depends on the aircraft you're flying. Typically what I do in this aircraft is I'll turn it off like right before I'm on short final. So I'll let the autopilot kind of take me to where I need to be, and then once I start my descent, either I'll do a visual approach where it's all hands on, or I'll do an instrument approach where I still have the autopilot engaged, and the autopilot will follow a radio beacon all the way down to the runway automatically.
Oh, cool.
And then if you were in a big airliner, it would actually flare the aircraft, land it, brake it, and then come to a full stop all by itself.
Yeah, a minute.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah.
Wow. Technology is incredible.
Now here's something interesting. So here we've got, see this little green square around this button here?
Yeah?
That means that this is the active control. So if we were to turn this knob, it would change the value in here, and watch what happens to the airplane. Go ahead and change that to the left or right a couple degrees.
You got the field and size, just that one cloud deck about 10 miles.
So now you're flying the airplane, but now you're flying it with the autopilot.
Roger that, and
Wow. I didn't know there were like more than 2 ways to fly a plane.
toward the
I
airport.
thought it was either autopilot or manual.
Yep, there's several. Usually the airliners, the big ones, or even the small ones like a 737, will have redundant systems, so it'll actually have 3 autopilots.
Wow.
J-Line Tower 20.
What if I wanted to change the altitude but with the autopilot on?
Sure, you can do that. If you want to change the altitude, what you can do is you can press the VS button,
What does it stand for?
vertical speed,
Okay.
and now you can see that this pink marker is now not filled in anymore. It's just got an outline. But this pink marker is filled in. It's solid, right?
Yeah.
So what we can do is we can see this is the VSI bug. We'll press that button, and then we can turn this control to climb. And you can see the aircraft pitching up,
Yeah.
and you can see we're starting to ascend. Or we can turn it down a little bit, then the aircraft will pitch down.
Wow.
But it'll maintain wherever you set that pink bug.
Cool.
So I told it to descend at a rate of 400 feet per minute. That's exactly what it's going to do.
So if I decided to turn off the autopilot now...
You mean like this?
Yeah.
Yep. Now it's all yours.
All right.
I'll slow us down a little bit. We're starting to get kind of close to SeaTac. We're going to turn a little bit more to the left, so I'll set the heading bug a little bit more to the left. There we go. And we're at 3,000 feet, so we're going to want to descend rather aggressively because the approach elevation for SeaTac is 2,500 feet. So let's get down to about 2,000 feet where we were before.
All
There
right.
we go.
Where do I see our altitude?
Right here, this guy right here. So we just crossed 3,000 feet, 2,900 feet, 2,800 feet.
And we're trying to get to what altitude?
About 2,000.
All right.
I'm going to slow us down a little bit more.
And where's the landing strip?
It's in the clouds right now. We can't really see it. But if you look here on the map, there it is right in front of us. Okay, and keep that pink marker right at the top of the compass rose. There you go. All right. I'll move it to the left just a little bit more. There we go. Keep turning left. Turning left. There you go. And watch your altitude. We're descending a little too much.
Oscar 653 is clear visual approach 34.
There you go. Okay.
Approach 34 last time.
Let's get us back up to 2,000 feet because right now we're at 1,100 and everybody's waving at us. There we go. Looking good. Perfect. Maintain this heading. No, level off a little bit. We don't want to turn here. Go ahead and level off. Turn left and then keep your wings level. And keep your altitude. We're at 1,400 feet, so we're slowly climbing. We're looking good. Actually, let's keep the altitude right here, right at 1,500 feet.
For speeds, last gas 653. Approach gas 4660.
Okay, let's turn to the left a little bit more. We're going to keep that pink marker right at the top, so we're going to turn left and get that lined up.
Lower 6 miles.
So that airfield right there is Boeing King County. That's where the flight schools are at. They're all on the left side, on the east side of the field.
Cool. All right.
Okay, and straight and level here, and this will take us right to the big runway. And we're going to make another right-hand turn, not yet, but we're going to make another right-hand turn to get us lined up with the runway. Because right now we're approaching SeaTac at kind of an angle. which is good. I mean, that's okay. But then we're going to want to make another right-hand turn that'll line us up perfectly with the runway.
All right.
And I'll help you out if you want.
Yeah, that would be good, probably.
Okay. Watch your altitude. We're good right here. Actually, we're good at 1,000 feet, but make sure we don't go too far down below that until we have the runway in sight. Okay, and then turn left a little bit more because we're a little bit to the west of the field. Left a little bit more. Okay, keep the turn going. Looks good. Okay, and you can drop your landing gear. Go ahead and just, you don't have to do any weird thing, just drop it down. There you go. Okay, I'm going to put some flaps in. It's going to want to balloon up, watch for that. Okay, now make your right-hand turn. You can see that you have 3 runways in front of you. There you go. There'll be one on the left-hand side. Get that lined up with your nose so it looks good to you visually. Okay, watch your descent. Pull back on the nose a little bit. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, perfect. Now level off. Turn left a little bit.
663, descend.
There you go. Okay.
5,000, guys,
All right. Push forward a little bit. Get our left-hand turn in there. Okay. Keep it coming. Okay, right there. That looks good.
Oh,
Okay, see how we got that lined up?
yeah, okay.
Okay, push forward a little bit more. Okay. Now keep that runway lined up. Now remember, when we hit the ground, well, when we land, not hit the ground, hopefully, you're going to run the steer with your rudder pedals.
Yeah.
Okay, looks good. Perfect. See how that's lined up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, throttle back a little bit.
The nose come up a bit.
Pretty soon. I'll call out flare, and flare. You'll pull back right there, and just hold that position right there. Let it come down.
Ooh.
Oh, a little bit of a bounce. Don't panic. There we go.
A little bit.
Oh. Okay, steer with your feet. Right. Hit the right rudder a little bit. Perfect. Get us slow down. Left rudder. Keep us steered on the runway. Looking a lot better. Okay, and press forward with your toes to get some brakes in there.
Miles northbound 2500, say Cessna 170.
Oh,
Okay.
there's another one.
Oh yeah. Well, we landed on the. We should have landed to the north, but oh well. Okay, we're gonna pull off on the taxiway here. So go ahead with your feet. Press as hard as, well, not hard, but press on your left rudder pedal to get us steered. There you go. We're gonna take this taxiway off.
Does it go all the way around?
Now we're just gonna go out and we're gonna head straight to the building right in front of us.
Right.
There we go. Crossing taxiway Alpha. Sorry, ground control, we didn't call in.
Whoops.
Southwest to our right, Alaska to our left.
And 3000.
290.
Okay, let's go ahead and taxi all the way up to the building here.
All right.
And you see that little hallway there, that glass hallway right in front of us here?
Yeah.
We're going to make a little left-hand turn right to that, and then we're going to stop. There you go. Perfect. There's our marks on the tarmac where we're going to put the nose wheel. And then go ahead and brake.
Yes,
Brake hard, brake hard. There you go. Okay. Now the parking brake, we're going to set that. So reach down to that, then pull it towards you once, and let go of the toe brakes. We shouldn't be moving. Whoop. Do it again. Do it one more time. Pull it forward. Okay, and let go of the toe brakes. Oh.
That's 4663, flying 310.
Let's do this. We'll go ahead and feather our props. Whoop. Toe brakes, toe brakes, toe brakes. There you go. All right. There. Now we shouldn't be moving. Flaps up. We'll get everything shut down. Okay, let's turn the radios off.
20.
So go ahead and we turn them 2 to the right. Now we'll do 2 to the left.
Right.
And for all 4 of them.
All four of them.
There you go. Okay, we're going to turn off our avionics, so out towards you and then down. Okay, turn off our taxi lights. Turn off our beacon. I'm going to turn off our environmental. And I'm going to turn off our lights. Okay, lights are off. Let's turn off these 2 guys here, the generators. Okay, and then these 2 we're going to turn off. They're going to come out and then down.
Approach horizon.
Okay. All right, everything's set. We're gonna kill the engines. We're gonna pull one. We're gonna pull the left one back first, all the way. And what that's doing is it's starving the engine of fuel.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll see here everything's starting to spin down. And our lights come back on saying, hey, I don't have any oil or fuel pressure. We'll let that get below 13%. And then we'll do the same thing to the right. Okay, now we do the right. Okay, and once this light comes on here, we can turn off the battery. And the battery is right there. That's it.
That's it. Whoa. So it's like a flying plane.
That's what it's like.
Oh, that's so cool. How different is a seaplane from this?
Hardly any different. The only difference will be you've got a lot more drag underneath you because you've got these huge pontoons, and landing is totally different. And when we were landing on the runway, we were talking about the flare, where we get just above the runway and we pull back to get the nose up in the air. In a seaplane, you want to get the plane as level as possible. There's no flare, but you just descend until the pontoons hit. And then
Horizon 131, you send and maintain 6,000.
Horizon 130, 6,000.